Everyone. So previously we have already deployed our simple Hello World Spring Boot application into various service like from Docker to all the three major cloud provider Kubernetes. So now what we'll do is we'll just make a little bit more real life sort of an application. Like we'll put some CRUD operation, and I will just create another application called Book app or Books app, and then we'll have the CRUD operation for the same. So what I'll do is simply just new project and just go with Maven. I'll simply say that Books app, okay, and you just choose the 22 and click on the next, add the web, and then we need we'll also use the database. So initially we'll use the H2 database, and also we need a JPA, so Spring Data JPA. Any other? No. So I'll just say new window, and here is our application. All right. So I just expand this main, and we'll create few packages. So first package is a model, then another package is a repository, then the third package is a service, the fourth package is a controller. Okay, and in the model we just have one class that is called books or book, and this will be our model class. So what I'll do is simply say private long id, and then title, then ISBN, then publication date, and then author name. Okay, and here the date would be an util one. Now we will have, except for id, all all the field constructor, and then I'll use this setter and getter method. Then we'll require a no argument constructor, and then we require a setters and getters. So just right click and generate for all. In fact, we need an ID. Yeah. So now let's try again. Okay. And because this is an entity class, we will annotate with entity, and then table name in books. And here, what is the problem here? Yeah, we need an ID, and generated value is auto. So it will be an auto increment. So we don't need to insert this ID. We just use this all the four fields. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll just create a repository class, or I would say interface. So that will be a book repository. Okay, and now extend here the book. Okay, we don't need to do any sort of thing except for annotate this interface with repository. And now it's time for a service. So now we'll say book service, and this is a service. Okay, and now let's auto wired repository, and now import the class. So this is get all books. Now get book by ID, add book, update book, and delete book. Okay, now let's go to this controller, and if I say um, book controller, okay, and then race controller, then we need to do an auto wired service. Now get mapping books, so we get all the books. Why it is showing? Yeah, it should be okay. Then we'll have to implement the toString method over here in the books. Okay, it should okay. In fact, we can give the list of books. Okay, then we can remove this part. This will return all the books. Let's put a semicolon, and now get book by ID. Okay, add book using post method and request body. Okay, and here we need request body. Okay, now look pretty okay. Now update. Okay, and delete. We require only ID. Now looks pretty good. Now we need let's check all the form file, everything is okay. JPA is there, web is there, H2 database is there, and starter test. Okay, so now because we are using the H2 database, we need some property in the application.properties. So if I go to this resource section, and here we need to console to be enabled, because we just need to check the H2 populated data using the console. So we'll use this, and this will be a web-based console. And this the path is default path is H2 console. So spring.h2 console.path is H2 console. And then we need a driver, but we need first of all spring.data source, and we need a driver class name H2 driver. Okay, and this is a memory database, so by default we'll go with this. In we have in username, and username and password will pass through the environment variable. Now we want SQL, all the SQL in the log should to be true, because this is particularly a small application, so we can afford to do, otherwise we should go with this logging and all. And then the dialect, because we are using the H2, so we'll use the H2 dialect. And then hibernate DDL, that is DDL command to be create and drop. And then this is an init mode. I'll explain it why we are using it. So, and we are initially, because we need some data to be populated at the start of the Spring Boot. So that's for the reason that I use these two conditions. And now what we'll do is we'll just create a file. First of all, schema.sql, because we also need to have a corresponding table. Okay. So what I'll do is just simply copy here. Okay. And this is our table which is corresponding to our model class, that is a book class. Now what I will do is simply data SQL, and I'll just create another file called data SQL, and here it is our insert statement. Okay, all right. Let's check the classes. Will already all the things has been defined, and post mapping is a get ID. So this should be a delete mapping in fact. Okay, and this is a put mapping in fact. Now let us try to run it. So application is started, and if I go localhost, either I can go with the H2 console, or either I say books. Let's try. Why it is not coming? Let's check this model class. Where is the author name? And here if you see in the schema, it's also an author name, should look okay. Author name should be okay. One thing we missed is we need to pass the username and password. So I'll put an edit configuration modify option and go to the add VM option, and here you can say -d and username equal to user 123 and -d password equal to pass 123. Okay, now let's apply. Now our application server is started. Now let's check, and I have this. If you type this s2 console, and we have user 123 and we have the password is pass 123. Okay, and if we click on this books and run it, we have already 3 rows inserted at the start for this application. Also, one more thing that I need to do is just column name, so that by default sometimes they take as underscore. So here in our case the same publication date. Here would be name because there is no space in between. Now let us start the application, and in our case if I go with this localhost books, and we have all the books are now present. Okay, and so that's it for this video. In the next video we will check the Swagger, and we will check all the API like update, delete and insert, and then we'll try to deploy the application on the Docker in the next lecture, or maybe more on the Kubernetes service. We'll choose one of the Kubernetes service, and then we'll see. All right, till the time, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.